Hello, Laura Schwam here with my Psychic Soul Healing Oracle deck, and I have a bunch of other decks on the table, as you can see. This message is going to be for Pisces, and if you're new to the channel, I just want you guys to know, welcome, and that this is mainly a healing channel, which means that, yes, I talk about twin flames, I talk about soulmate journeys, I talk about your soul's path and all that good stuff, just like other tarot card readers do. The only difference is I use my deck to start, because my deck talks about the soul wounds, the blocks that prevent us from manifesting. And why? Because when I'm looking at soulmate relationships, your reading wouldn't change that much from month to month unless you understood the spiritual lesson, unless you were able to integrate the spiritual lesson. You wouldn't see much change, because understand, soul lessons are all karmic, which means learn. So it's talking about, where do we need to learn? What new awarenesses do we need to incorporate into our life or our particular life experience to see ourselves differently, so we can manifest what we're trying to manifest? That is the difference. So anything you guys need to know about me, my channel, anything else, you can find them in the description box down below. Now, for every person that, signs up to one of my subscriptions, I do try to offer them a free reading. So you can check my subscriptions out by going to Patreon. And again, that link is going to be in the description box down below. Now, without further ado, let's see what the overall energy is. The spiritual ties, or the spiritual or karmic theme that's going on within either a connection or your life, or again, because could be, again, just a general reading. Could be, if you're not connected to someone and you happen to land on this, Pisces, you could be, I just want to know what's in store for me. Maybe you're not with anybody. Again, chances are you might be, dependent. Narrow-minded was this first card out. So this is the overall energy. We're going to see what the secondary energy is. Again, this is, I don't know who this reading is for, but somebody that's Pisces is who it was intended for. Honor. Nervousness. Okay, so the overall energy is narrow-minded, which is someone is looking at a situation from a very limited point of view. It's again, narrow-minded is just that. It means that they're only looking at things from a very limited perception, which is what they know, what they've gone through. So, and nervousness tells me this. And nervousness is, again, that the person is looking at things from a very narrow perspective, which means that they didn't have good experiences, which is what has made them feel this way. And they have an honor to themselves about living this way. It's like they're so strict in their and maybe they're narrow-minded because they're family. Maybe you're attached to somebody that is very narrow-minded because their family is narrow-minded, and that's who taught them, and that's who they think like. And so anytime they sway from the way that their family thinks, they get nervous. Again, this is bad for when we're in a relationship with someone like this, because it means that we feel that their loyalty is not with us. We feel that they always have to check in with their mother-in-law or their father or sister or somebody else, and that we're not number one, that we're not, that this person isn't giving us our place. That's what this feels like. This is the energy there, is again, narrow-minded. And there's also, understand, if I'm seeing narrow-minded in one area, you can believe that the person is narrow-minded straight across the board. It's just people tend to be more prejudiced and have more limitations within a relationship because they feel like a relationship could hurt them more, and they think that the more open that they are to just allowing anyone into their life, that they could get hurt more, when the truth of the matter is, the actual more types of people that come into our life, the better perception we have, because we can, determine through people's character, through, again, what they're showing us. And we're not so close up to the picture. If we're not so close up to the picture emotionally, we're not getting involved. So understand, the person here does get emotionally involved because they're narrow-minded, which means they're very close up to the picture, which is not allowing them to tap into their intuition. Okay, now this could be you or your person. Now, let's see what the heck we're talking about here, because it's like, okay. But I'm feeling person's narrow-minded again because of the family views again. So maybe you're with someone that's divorced or doesn't want to get a divorce or needs to get a divorce, but they're nervous and there's an honor there to like be a certain way. Let's see. Yeah, there's again, this is the Magician. So this is a manifestation card. So I do believe that someone is coming towards you. Again, someone wants to create a new start with you, Pisces. Now, most likely someone from the past is what I'm feeling. And the reason why is because Three of Swords is like a painful truth, and it's like reversed. It's like almost like the person coming towards you, it's again already knows on some level that it's not going to work out. They already are setting themselves out and they're actually looking for proof that it's not going to work out, whether that's through your social media, whether that's talking to friends. They are like spying because they already feel as if, that, even though that they're going to manifest this, that they want to manifest, but it's again, they're going to find out that it's some painful truth. And then I pulled the Empress, which is normally abundance, but it's upside down. So this person believed that they were going to manifest a new start with you, or again, if you haven't been together, again, they have had their eye on you for a while. So they felt like they were going to be able to manifest this and create some sort of abundance with you. They never kind of took into consideration that you wouldn't want this, I feel like, because again, why would a person, again, come back to say that they were sorry, meaning they had to overcome the feeling of being nervous and overcome, going against family and going against like their traditional belief and of being narrow-minded to come back to manifest. Why would they bother for it not to work out? It's again, obviously they thought that there was going to be abundance there. They thought that they were going to get what they wanted. They thought that they were going to get a new start. Now, why wouldn't they get a new start? Or why wouldn't they go in a gone? Well, it's again, look at this 9 of Swords. So worries. It's again, because the other person made like the other person worry a lot, maybe made you worry a lot. Maybe they weren't respectful. If that's what it feels like. I feel like this person thought that they could come back whenever they wanted and that they were going to be able to manifest a relationship that brought abundance because the relationship was a good relationship. it's again, there was a vibe that the people who I'm tapped into, that it's again, they were already in a relationship, or they already had a bond, they already had some sort of feeling that it could have gone to abundance. This is why the person thought, hey, I'm going to leave and it's going to be abundant. But they never thought about how that situation of being narrow-minded and being so honorable to people that were not their person. Again, now they come back, didn't realize that it was, they gave the person a lot of heartache. And I think that now, again, that you, again, they gave you a lot of heartache. Now, can be reversed because energy is fluid, so take it as it resonates. But I feel again that they didn't know how to handle things, so they didn't treat you properly, and they never thought that, for a moment, that this relationship wasn't going to work out. Like, and they just kind of like in their mind, just were focused on what they wanted, like what their situation was, instead of, really what relationship is. Yeah, again, so this is peace and happiness, but it's upside down. So it's again where they're worried because they knew again that it's the person was like, it was supposed to be peace and happiness. You were supposed to give me that at one time. So I feel like both parties feel that way, but one person felt that way possibly like a year ago. It's again, and why I say that is, again, I tend to count like symbols that are on the card, or it's again intuitively, and I kind of feel like it was a little while, like it was not like a week or something for this person to do that. I feel like the person again was like didn't get what they wanted possibly like a year ago, maybe even 8 months ago. And this person just cared about their own situation, what they were going through. They weren't paying attention of how their actions or lack of action was going to affect their person, because they said, well, this person's my soulmate. This person is, again, feels and thinks the way that I do about them. So it's again, but they don't realize that now they're feeling what you felt a year ago or however long ago that was. It's like both parties felt the same thing. They just felt it are feeling it at different times. It tells me that these two are soulmates. Again, are learning the same lessons, or mirroring kind of each other. So it's also a significant relationship. So maybe you need to look at your mind and say, am I narrow-minded? Am I narrow-minded? Do things need to be my way? Maybe I'm not close with my family and this person is so close with their family. Maybe it's like I feel threatened. It's to look at why the trigger is the trigger. It's like, is somebody like, why are you that same way? Are you so honorable to people and things that shouldn't be honorable? And when you sway off what you believe and what you want 100%, when you have to let go of your grasp of how you believe that things should look and how things should play out, are you nervous? Because it's again, you're a magnet of who and what comes into your life. And this is again, if it's not healed, there's moving on. It's like, because there's a sense that the person's almost stuck in. So this person is going to come back and try and manifest a relationship with you, Pisces. But if you're angry and if you're like stuck in the past because of what they did to you a while ago, like it's again that, and that you cannot find peace and happiness with it, it's then you have no choice but to move on. Now, I'm not telling you what to do, but that is what would happen. It would be that you would not be able to get this relationship off the ground, mainly because of what has happened in the past, where it's again, there's nothing that's perfect. So you have to look to, is this something that you're really angry with, or you just angry and it's going to be something that you say out of anger and then regret it later on, is what my fear is. So we're going to pull like two cards from this deck and one card from the energy oracle deck, just to see that, because like I said, this could be like, no, this is over, this person does this all the time, they're so narrow-minded, they honor like everybody else, they never gave me my place, I'm nervous, I'm nervous because they never show up for me, they're nervous about how I'm gonna react. It's again, this person never viewed, never, obviously, even here it shows, never looked at your feelings, never looked at what they did. So they, again, coming back thinking they were going to be able to manifest this. It's again, they never in a million years thought that that was going to happen. They never thought that that was going to happen at all. I mean, Three of Swords, painful truth, but this is a sense of they didn't think, but they kind of did. It's like, meaning like, I know like a lot of time went by, but I just feel like we're just supposed to be together. It's going to be fine. They thought it was going to be abundant. It wasn't. They were not created with open arms. They were greeted with, this is what you did to me. This is what you did to me. Nine of Swords. This is what you did to me. I had many sleepless nights over it. I was upset a lot about it. It's again, because you were stuck in your way. And again, maybe stuck in your way because you didn't want to apologize. You didn't want to see things from my point of view. And you let it affect our relationship. You let it affect our, this is temperance. This is a temperance card, which is like peace and happiness. It's like you let somebody else affect our peace and happiness. And because of that, I have to walk away. So, but are you walking away again out of pride and ego? Or are you walking away because this person just keeps doing it and you can't deal with it? This is what I want to know, because this is where you would be like, yeah, I tend to act at it from my emotions, and that's not good because emotions are fluid. So again, like rose mood can be reversed in a reading. Well, emotions are fluid. What you feel today is not what you're going to feel tomorrow, especially when we're talking about relationships. And again, karmic situations. So let's look at the energy. All right, stillness. So it's again, when we don't know what to do nothing. Because it's again, we don't want to act from an emotional standpoint, which is already telling me that you're probably thinking about your situation from an emotional standpoint, which is how you sabotage yourself. This is how you get in your own way when it comes to relationships. And the reason why is because a lot of times we get paired up with someone that thinks very mental and we tend to think very emotionally. And so we need to find balance within our situation. So when we don't know what to do, we need to stand still. Again, why stillness allows that intuition to come in, and only in the now do you get divine guidance, so you can act from the highest state of consciousness, which is what you need to do in order to succeed. So let's pull another one, okay? I need glasses. I have glasses on, but I need better ones. Rebirth. So look at this. See, once we're still and we really think about it, look at this. We can actually rebirth this relationship because we're able to actually look at things from a different perception, which again, we need to say, is this something that is again irritating me because there's really something that's wrong within my relationship? Or am I also stuck in the fact that everything that I need healed is exactly what I'm complaining about my partner or the person that I care about? Is that maybe I'm narrow-minded, maybe I'm very nervous, maybe I feel like they need to honor me, that they don't honor me enough. It's again, but understand everyone's way of showing love and affection and putting people first tends to be different sometimes. This person, again, obviously didn't think that they did anything wrong. So it's again, when we can see things from two different perspectives, this shows me that this energy was going very negative again, because someone was like narrow-minded, nervous, you didn't honor me, to I'm going to stay still. I'm going to stay still and try and look at this relationship from a different perspective, like slow it down. And to rebirth is like I want to give this relationship another chance. So once we have the intention of something, at least we know that it's going in the right direction. Let's see what else. And this is joy. So it's again, I feel like joy was a little reversed, obviously not a little, but a lot. But it's the rebirth, and then it's not so joyous. I feel like that there is a joyous because this is soulmate relationship. But what it's saying is that um a lot of times our soulmate is on a different vibrational frequency. And so the amount of love and the amount of change that we see is small. And so even though we miss that person and we love that person and we want to be with that person, we still are holding an expectation. And unconditional love has no expectation, it has no ownership. That's what unconditional love is. So it's again, the joy that we're not really feeling is because we have expectation. So again, because we're going to give this another chance. So let's see what the overall advice is. I'm going to pull from the energy deck and see what the overall advice is to deal with a situation like this, because this is a real soulmate relationship. It's like, we get stuck and fixated. We believe, again, if you loved me, it would look like you honor me all the time, that you're not so narrow minded with your beliefs. You wouldn't be so nervous to show me how you feel. You would just be able to manifest things the proper way. You would be thinking about me all the time. It's like you wouldn't affect my peace and happiness if you were my soulmate. It's like you wouldn't cause problems and keep me up all night if you were my soulmate. And none of that is true. Soulmates do this. Twin flames do this. It's again because soulmates are relationships that grow the soul. And your soul family does the same thing. And a soul family, it could be one person that comes into your life and teaches you something minor, and that could be your landlord, or it could be again someone that you meet for a day, and you never see again, but teaches you something, makes you look at yourself or a situation completely different. It's again teaches you. Well, it's again every person that does so. Every relationship is the same. So understand love is still love. Unconditional love has no ownership, has no expectation. So it's again, we want to give it another chance. We do. And when we stop and sit, we can actually give it another chance because we're not coming from an emotional standpoint. But guess what? There's still that expectation like that we're battling with. And so let's just see. Okay, and the advice is financial contracts. So it's again, I kind of feel like financial contracts is usually again that people build something together, create something together, find balance in doing something together. Now, this doesn't mean getting married, though a person can perceive it like that. But in this particular situation, this talks of a soulmate. It talks about two people that have very narrow perceptions about what they believe love should look like, how they believe that the other should act. But they do love each other. That's the theme of this. So what it's saying is in order to find balance, wow, that looks like it was like invisible. But in order to find balance, it says financial it's financial like contracts, which is when you can like create something together, build something together, like, and sometimes it has nothing to do with money. It could be working on a project together, finding balance, learning how to work together, learning how to communicate together. So a lot of times, again, these relationships are very passionate and fiery because again, God has to, put us together with somebody that we're going to be hot for in order for us to want to stick around long enough to change. Otherwise, the aggravation wouldn't be worth it. So of course the person's enticing to look at, and they may be charming, and they may have all those wonderful, beautiful qualities that a soulmate twin flame has. The problem is, it's again, they don't get along, and they don't get along because they can never find balance. And so the reason why, when you can do like make financial like make a finance, do something like together, whether that's for financial gain. I mean, a lot of times people will do it in relationships that they're already married, and they just have a problem in this area of finding balance within their relationship. It's to do something together that's going to create this balance, because they can't create the balance on their own. So that's one advice, and something else would be door to value. So it's again door to value, and so that looks odd. I hate when it does that. Um, Door to value is, again, what if you guys decide to create something together, because you're so paradox in your energies. Um, you would be bringing the best of the best together, because I understand, usually in the fact of narrow-mindedness, it means that one person thinks from a very logical, linear perspective, and the other person thinks from a more intuitive perspective. One person tends to be very emotional, and the other person isn't. And so where the other person is logical. And so that's when you balance those energies, because you need those energies to be able to create successfully, because creating is not just about being able to build a successful business, but it's about being able to intuitively know maybe what your clients want, or to intuitively be able to know what your just how you create within your business, whether it's helping your clients or other areas. So it's, again, the two different qualities of male and female, or again, logical, linear, and intuitive and spiritual mind, when it becomes in balance. And this is what it's talking about, that these people are already in a relationship, but it seems to be on and off. It seems to create a lot of turbulent energy. It doesn't mean that they don't love each other. It doesn't mean that they don't, but what it's saying is that you're learning how to master your emotions. You're learning how to navigate the relationship better, because you're not reacting from an emotional standpoint, but there's still these blocks that are preventing you from actually like enjoying the relationship fully. And so you say, how can we do this? Do I get rid of the relationship? No, because you wouldn't be able to, because it's, again, you love that person. But it could then turn into a toxic relationship if you don't heal it. So you heal it through, again, creating something together. I'm not even going to pick up those cards, because they're going to show up invisible. I promise not to use them again. But again, you'll have to take my word for it, that it's like financial contracts is, again, creating something. And now, again, doesn't mean that it needs to be for financial gain, or that you need to create a financial contract. I'm feeling intuitively it's more about, creating value to the relationship, and value to the relationship happens when you honor each other, when you're able to have each other's back, because you see each other's point of view, that you may not agree, but you learn to honor it and respect it. And the only way that that can happen is if we don't take things so personally. And the only way that we can do that is if we're building something and creating something. Now, I hope that this healing style reading worked for you. And again, I'm new, so let me know. Leave a like, comment, check out my subscriptions on Patreon. And like I said, follow me. And I'm going to be doing a lot of live streams. The next one's going to be on Thursday night, this Thursday, which is what, today is the 26th, 27th, 28th. So the 28th of July is going to be my next live stream. And I hope to see you all there. And until next time, be true to yourself. And for every subscriber, they get a free reading. So, but all this information, again, is going to be in the description box below. All right, guys, until next time, be true to yourself. Bye.